Hello, everyone. It's 8:05 p.m. at night. I'm very sleepy. So I had breakfast, no lunch, and a very early but big dinner. And in the next hour, excuse me, I'm going to bed. So thankfully, I had help for another night. And I got so much attacks and abuse. Um, and as I said, the fake Darnell Williams perp, you know, he's doing a lot of illegal stuff to me. All through, you know, and I know he's not the only one. It's like I don't know. It's like it's like I'm getting all these persecutions and attacks from so many people, even though I know I'm innocent. I mean, so my phone really didn't alert me that it was gonna rain, but Google showed me it was more like supposed to rain off and on. Um, you know, but it rained pretty much all afternoon. I'm too tired to even excuse me, too tired to do this video and talk. So the online stalkers think that their opinion and the way they feel, um despite trying to use the Bible to put me down, weaponize the Bible to put me down and make me feel shamed about my faith in Jesus Christ, they still think that they have fake authority that's higher than God. And they'll try to manipulate and play games on quoting Bible at me and tell me how I should behave. But then, you know, if I end up not getting help with a hotel room or something and being forced to be rained on, or if I have any other misfortune or whatever, they will throw in my face and taunt and harass me about why God didn't save me from this or that or whatever. So if you have like a 2-minute old account, or your account is 1 day old, you know, those are the, I mean, those are definitely perps and trolls or whatever. And a lot of the times you can tell when they're perps when they post up demonic, goofy looking pictures on their fake profiles and everything. So yeah, I was my phone had alerted me that there will be more hard freeze all weekend long for tomorrow, and let's see, tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday, and I'm not sure about Monday, but then next week it's supposed to be much warmer, but it's supposed to rain all week. And so they had this abusive narcissistic perp that came on my YouTube page to make fake harassing comments, and it seemed extremely narcissistic, harsh, and cruel. Had a 6-day-old account and started to narcissistically lecture me about how I'm very well fed, and started lecturing me about how I should go get a, instead of being on the internet all day, should go out and go get a job and this and that, and you should utilize that time to go and get a job. And I'm like, well, I tried to get jobs. I mean, if you've been stalking me all this long, I'm pretty sure you know about what happened with the airport situation. That was a job that y'all sabotaged. So, and then the other job that I got hired for, y'all want to try to say it's labor trafficking. How did they even find out? And I still have not publicly mentioned what the job is. But then y'all try to tell me that the job will be labor trafficking. But if I cancel the job, then y'all would harass me about how I should have and could have taken that job. But then if I do go take the job, y'all would illegally find out where I'm working at, and then sabotage the job opportunity. You know, so that abusive narcissistic perp try to lecture you. Come on my page with a fake new account, troll account, and started to lie and say that, oh, your scams are very well documented all over the internet, and trying to say, no, you will not get hotel room tonight. Well, guess what? I was able to, 3 people helped me with, 3 people, combined helped me with enough for another night for tonight. I mean, and I've been trying as much as I can to research more about the mindset of narcissistic flying monkeys that have this kind of vigilante kind of mentality. So it's like self-appointed narcissistic abusers that take it upon themselves to think they got the authority to try to police and punish people, when if y'all read the Bible, y'all will humble yourselves and search within your own sins and see where you because if y'all telling me, oh, instead of being on the internet all day, but you're stalking me all day. Instead of stalking somebody you don't like, why don't you go do something positive? Y'all want to tell me what to worry about or what to focus on. And no, I'm not shutting up about the gang stalking either. So, and I forgot that perp's name, but I screenshot what he said. But y'all, I mean, as I said this morning, my own twin sister, once she found out that I caught on and found out about gang stalking, that's when she came with her fake smear campaign and lied and said that I'm pretending to be targeted just for money and for a group to belong to. So I didn't publicize the video, but I had you know did a video this morning, late this morning, and I guess I'll say that the gang stalking was kind of moderate, but I didn't get to film any gang stalking this evening or whatever, Oh, I did. It was a small little video. But well, I mean, whether online or in person, I have my proof, you know. So whoever that perp was paid to make that comment, that harassing comment, you know. And I just don't understand why or how they waste so much time and effort to try to stalk and try to control my every minute little move, trying to micromanage. I don't even know y'all. Like, if you have a problem with my behavior, then there are plenty of other places on social media you can go. Go watch a gardening video or go watch a surfing video or something. Stay the hell away from me. I mean, how can you try to control somebody's behavior when you don't even look at your own sins first before pointing out other people's? And the perps have quoted that take the beam out of your own eye. I'm supposed to stay silent and tolerate abuse from people I don't even know behind lies? And other people have pointed out that my twin sister's a perp also. It wasn't that many, but, So, another perp, it probably was the fake Darnell Williams perp, but they made only one comment, and the typing didn't seem like him. But the perp had, made a fake profile with an image of Baphomet. And it probably was him. A fake account that said, "Mr. I'm gonna steal your soul." So, I never heard of anything where if somebody truly was a scammer or fraudulent, people might just wish for them to go to jail or something. But for somebody to wish death on you because somebody lied and said that I'm fraudulent, so that's what they do. I explained that I even looked today online for job opportunities and couldn't find anything that my disability can cope with, So, as I said, I'm disabled with certain limitations. So y'all don't know what I do off camera. And what I do is not your business. Like, and it's like they are so harsh and vicious, you know, excuse me, like they have to be driven by demons to be that vigilante, you know, that y'all think y'all got the authority to police and punish based on lies that you heard, you know. They have cops for a reason. You know, you just keep falsely accusing me of this and that. And but y'all the ones that's participating in trafficking and murder and sacrifice. Because I mean, and the fact that y'all are so controlling, the fact that y'all think that y'all have the authority to restrict me from social media. I heard that that's what traffickers do to slaves. Keep them isolated, hold them hostage, and won't allow them with any other social contact. Like when I heard about sicko R. Kelly, I heard that I hear stories about how the traffickers would confiscate the slaves' phones and try to keep them ignorant. You know, so I mean, I don't know if it's still raining, but I would have ended up being rained on. You know, I would have ended up being rained on tonight and shivering cold with no shelter overhead or nowhere to go. So I was able to find like the other motel. They would say that they have no room, and they charge a bigger deposit, like $50 for incidentals or something. But I feel like I don't use that phrase or that word, but some people would consider it score if you can get like a hotel room night that's cheaper than a motel and get breakfast and get the breakfast in the morning. So I was able to find something cheaper, and so now I think I got $5 and something in the bank. And I don't know if I have like maybe I don't know if about probably $12 left, or somewhere around there in cash. But I don't know. I have to count it, and that's like enough for one meal. But and that abusive narcissistic perp that came with the lecturing comments, you know, he tried to say, "Oh, you look like you're very well fed." Another way to falsely call me greedy, and also trying to tell me that, you know, being in a mental hospital is the only housing I'm pretty much supposed to have, and that, oh, at least you'll have a roof over your head and 3 meals a day. And then just hardcore lecturing me about my behavior and telling me I need to grow up. And it's like, you don't even know me. It's like none of your business. And some people, what they do online, they do it online because they figure that they don't have any accountability. I mean, they don't have to worry about being held accountable for abusing people. And they couldn't get away, the stuff that they do online, they couldn't get away with doing it in person. You know, but a lot of the stuff that they do online, like the stalking and harassment, like I heard that cyber stalking and cyber harassment and cyber bullying, I heard that that's a felony crime, and they be threatening me and making threats at me and stuff. So if I was guilty of wrongdoing, all y'all do is stalk, follow, and harass and bully me and threaten me and want me to die. But I'm not incarcerated. You know. So y'all think y'all got the authority to triumph over God's will. But if I got help with a hotel room tonight and it's so cold tomorrow and nobody want to help me tomorrow, and then the online person will taunt and harass me about, oh yeah, your God can't be too good, huh? Why didn't your God help you with, a hotel room or whatever. And also that narcissistic perp try to say that you're not getting any help with any hotel room tonight. And if somebody were to help you, you'll just keep asking for more nights. Well, let me make a living from my writings. I mean, you don't have the authority or the right to coerce somebody to nine to five. I mean, I should be able to do something entrepreneurial if that's the path I want to take with my life choices. You know. So vigilanteism is more like wow, they keep on making my left eye itch. Vigilanteism is more like, and with the gang stalking and community oriented policing, when people try to act like the police towards you but don't have the authority to do so. They don't have the authority to do so, and a lot of the police aren't doing their jobs. And so with the vigilanteism, people with power hungry, narcissistic abusers taking it upon themselves to do like a fake citizen's arrest or punishment when you do not have the authority to do that. And you don't have the authority or the right. And then I heard that it's basically their perception on what's right or wrong rather than what's truly right or wrong. And my twin sister, lying and saying that I'm scamming for money. She was scamming me for money and bullying me out of my money throughout the years. Blackmailing and threatening me out of my money. But my twin sister is trying to, everything she's doing, she's trying to copy off with the foster mom. The way the foster mom acted towards me. I mean, my twin sister's YouTube profile picture, her mannerisms and pose in that picture, like as if she's trying to, it seems like she's trying very hard to look like the fake foster mom. And she looked like as if she's, establishing, like as if that picture looks like as if, oh yeah, I'm establishing authority over Candy. And it's really disturbing and frightening to me. And the people I've been dealing with gang stalking, my twin sister is not even bold enough to fight against them, like stand up to them. So, I saw a few more videos where that helped me feel better and feel like more closure on the gang stalking. Like another person, I don't know if he recently found out he was targeted, and he was saying that that it happened to him as well. And I mean that if you're targeted and the perps are doing you stuff, and when you call them out on it, they don't want to be held accountable, so they'll reverse it on you and lie and say that you're harassing them. So, and people with narcissistic personalities that are not even gang stalkers, if they act like they think they got the fake authority and a license to meddle in your business, and if they think you're crazy, then they're trying to boss you around and tell you what to do, but they won't even obey a simple request to be left alone. But then when you question them about treating you unfair and singling you out, they'll pretend to have a fake meltdown and falsely talk about how you're stressing them out. I've had moments where I'm talking to somebody or having a conversation with somebody, and then somebody with a stranger with a narcissistic personality would come and butt in the conversation to try to meddle in my business about something that has nothing to do with them, and try to lecture me and tell me off about myself. And then I found myself like apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do anything wrong, or I didn't mean to offend you. And then they would say that I'm aggravating and annoying and stressing them out. But I got a certain age and realized that now I just say butt out, nobody's talking to you. Then we end up getting into an argument. So I was trying to say that a hotel room, sometimes you can get a hotel room that's cheaper than the motel, plus get breakfast. But the daily rate would be cheaper than the motels. But the daily rate is cheaper than the motels, but But the weekly rate for the motel is cheaper than, you know, the amount the daily rates will be if they added up in a hotel. Excuse me. So if you get like a motel that's I think $75 for 7 days, or even a hotel, that's $525 for a week. But if you pay the weekly rate for the motel, that's $400. But if you pay individually, that'll be like $525. You know, so the gang stalkers want me off the earth so badly and they block me from survival on my own in a way that I have to be forced to have to ask others for help. And then when I do, they will falsely accuse me of fake pity and scam and frauds. I can't even talk properly right now. I must be that sleep deprived. But how can you see multiple footage of me being gang stalked? And you're supposed to be a fellow TI. And all of a sudden, and you believing I'm a real TI and supporting me and defending me. And then all of a sudden you just got to change your narrative about me and change of heart, change of opinion. And because you heard the slander and the lies about me, and then you turn around and act like a vigilante narcissist, and think you got the fake authority to punish, and you do what the perps do by and you go and slander me to the TI community. So, how is it scam and fraud to try to get help out of the hotel? Help. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Out of rain or cold or bad weather, and into a hotel or motel. But I'm going to repeat myself that the gang stalkers, both online and in person, conspire to have me wrongfully banned from that cheap $213 excuse me, housing. And they conspired to have since day one to have this done to me, and then try to manipulate for me to blame myself for what they did to me, and then lie and say that I did it myself when they did it to me. So whenever I expose gang stalking, I'm falsely reported for harassment and bullying. But if I try to ask for help for a hotel room to survive, I get falsely reported for scam and fraud. And y'all wait till the coldest day of the fucking year to do something, to sabotage my TikToks or whatever other social media. But it seems like they're highly mad at me for not selling out. So, I mean, yeah, talking about Mr. Steal Your Soul. I mean, oh no, Mr. I'm gonna steal your soul. So, excuse me. I'm playing zero games. I'm very serious about this. I have zero reason to lie for pity. I'm actually telling the truth and showing tangible evidence. At least enough evidence that a real TI would believe it. But you see my evidence and don't believe me because you're fake and sold out and narcissistic. And the fake Darnell Williams perp keep falsely reporting and getting TikTok shut down because they don't want the perps don't want their harassment to be exposed and revealed, but they smear campaign and lie on me, and they're so delusional that they think that they wrongfully believe that them spreading lies about me is exposing truth. And they think that they can outdo God or outrun God. Multiple of y'all can't be God. There's only one God. And you know these perps trying to play God by remaining anonymous and trying to remain hidden. And it's like on TikTok, you don't even have to expose gang stalking. They have, like, if you report human trafficking or document human trafficking, or if you document narcissistic abuse, they will have vigilante trolls to harass and falsely report and get your accounts taken down. You know. And yeah, the perps, you know, the perps want me to go to hell. Or they're hoping that I would go to hell. But I be warning y'all that, you know, y'all keep doing this, y'all going to hell. But, you know, if I try to share the gospel and try to follow God, y'all falsely accuse me of being a religious narcissist or a fake Christian hypocrite. And y'all do stuff on purpose to trigger and provoke me to commit a sin, you know, out of anger and frustration with the reactive abuse to y'all initial narcissistic abuse. But y'all are members of cults. Y'all are cult members falsely accusing me of being a religious narc, but I'm not in a cult anymore. But y'all think that y'all have the fake authority and entitled to control somebody. And I hate when people with narcissistic personalities or fake narcissistic abuse victims, you know, talk about that new age fake karma talk. Or they'll talk about they'll manipulate and weaponize the Bible saying, "Oh, you're going to reap what you sow." Or you're reaping what you have sown. When all of us, every one of us, good or bad, we all gonna reap what we sow. You think you're excluded? So why won't the gang stalkers take the beam out of their own eye before taking the mote out of my eye? Because you think stalking, following, and harassing someone, how do you have time to read the Bible and be on your knees praying when you're keeping your eye on me 24/7? You know. So it's really scary. So yeah, I have enough for. I mean, I had got just one night in the hotel tonight, and it's supposed to be a hard freeze over the weekend again. And the stalkers falsely reported and sabotaged me getting help with more nights. But I would not have to do this if y'all either A, would have let me have a job, excuse me, with that airport job today, the January 18th, was supposed to be my first paycheck from the job. And I don't even know if the weather is the reason why. I mean, yeah, today being January 18th was supposed to have, it would have been the first paycheck from the from that airport job if they wouldn't have did what they did to me. But the other job for me to go possibly out of state, I haven't heard anything back, but they said this week. But I don't know if it probably got put on hold because of the weather and the freezing temperatures and stuff. So I don't even feel. I mean, this you know, it's like for me to be treated like I'm not welcome. I mean, making me not feel like a New Orleanian, or you know, make me not even feel Creole. Excuse me. Trying to make me feel like I don't have a right to be from New Orleans. But the ones who don't want me here, that's y'all be the narcissistic gang stalkers, the abusive narcissistic perps. And y'all don't have the authority or the right to dictate that I should not be allowed in New Orleans, my hometown where I was born and raised. I'm from here. And the internet strangers think they even boasted and bragged about how they're gonna make sure I'm run out of all of New Orleans. Now they think they got that power to do that or authority to do that. You don't even know me. And they make fake narratives, lying and saying that I've been doing XYZ wrong for all of my life. I never scammed anyone. I never defrauded anyone. But I damn sure been scammed and defrauded. That fake talent surveillance perp was trying to she was manipulative and playing games and gaslighting me and being messy. And then one day out of the blue, after her helping and donating to me, out of the blue, she just started, lecturing me and trying to tell me off about myself and make me feel bad. And then try to act like she wanted to make me blame myself for my targeting and why I ended up back homeless again. And now she wants to pretend to feel like she's a fake hurt victim and saying that she still can't get over what I quote unquote did to her. But I said before, donating money to me while I'm at my lowest does not give anyone the right to start being abusive towards me. And sometimes, it's like she even would send me something on days that I didn't even ask for help. Or like send me $10 almost every day. And I don't know how many times, but maybe 2 or 3 times, she donated enough for a hotel room. And then all of a sudden she started to act bizarre and weird. And it's like the stuff that she was throwing in my face, I'm like, well, it sounds like you secretly were listening too much to my twin sister. Because at first you acted like you were supportive of me and telling me off your own mind without me asking. You were telling me that, making it like as if you pretending that you're on my side and supporting me and acknowledging my twin sister as the weirdo and perp. And I recently caught talent surveillance lying and saying that I have zero evidence of myself being targeted and that I just go around harassing everybody. And that's exactly what the perps say. But she's one of the popular fakes playing both sides, and she's extremely manipulative. Cleverly evil. Nobody has to put up with shitty neighbors, gang stalking or not. People have a right to live in peace. What happened to that clause in your apartment, at least, for the right to peaceful and quiet enjoyment? And I heard that I was told that I should have had a right to sue the landlady or sue the housing agency for allowing that. But being targeted, you won't even get anywhere. And I don't even have the money to even And then the perp neighbor Whitney threatened to sue me or threatened to get a lawyer. So, and they got too many people playing both sides. Like, I guess that's what they call controlled opposition or COINTELPRO. Because if you know, a fake TI perp or a fake truther playing both sides, and you're talking like you're so knowledgeable of being anti-Illuminati, but then you be behind closed doors secretly working for them and getting paid. You know, so the fake Darnell Williams perp is desperate enough that he's willing to. I mean, he's been doing stuff lately and like publicizing or threatening to publicize personal information of even people who are supportive of me. And they act like they delusionally believe that they're pimps, that they want to keep tabs on who I'm talking to and what we're talking about and what, or anything like that, you know. So, him and my twin sister in that cult, not the fake IDMR cult, but I'm talking about my twin sister's fake hate candy Grand Prix cult. They lied on me and said that I went to the hotel and prostituted with that man. I actually had my own room by myself. And me and him, we didn't even talk every day. We never got intimate. And my goal for 2024, well, I'm glad I haven't had any intercourse with anybody, you know. It's like I don't want to have sex with anybody this year unless I so happen to find a husband and get married. But I don't want to fornicate, you know. And I never did, and I never want to, you know, prostitute or do survival sex. I even hate having sex. I've been too traumatized from the rapes and everything. I mean, for a man to get on top of me, and he feels so heavy on top of me, and going in and out of me, like that feels like torture. And I remember some off and on, there have been moments where I feel like fuck people, the hell with people, and I'm just gonna be asexual and not attracted to nobody. But I'm heterosexual straight, but I don't want to have sex with nobody. I don't want to sleep with nobody. You know. But yeah. He only came in the room like the first couple of minutes after he showed me the room, and he helped me with the air conditioner, and that was it. And then he left and went in his own room, and you know, almost the whole time we didn't even see each other, you know. But we didn't even text each other like every day, you know. So he was in a separate room from me. I had a room by myself, like I have a room by myself right now, you know. And he was in the room with another woman, but I never saw the other woman. you know. But if he would have tried to make it like I have to give him some, then I was trying to, go and leave, you know. But if it weren't for those 11 nights that I stayed there, then I would have been back on the streets sooner and having to ask for help sooner, you know. But thankfully, I'm glad for the 11 nights. But I didn't appreciate all that tapping and not being able to get any, and the harassment and not being able to get any peace. You know, so people say recognize real, but I guess real recognize fake, but fake don't recognize real. But I guess fake recognize fake, or maybe fake don't recognize fake. But people who conform to the New World Order, that's all they're about is lies and false information. But, you know, one thing I don't understand is how people profess to be targeted individuals and they don't like to be slandered and they're hurt by slander that's done to them. But then they can so easily be persuaded or manipulated or mind controlled to participate in targeting and harassing a fellow TI with the vigilante hate and punishment, undeserved punishment, which is more like persecution. You know, ever since being awakened to my targeting, I have never, if I heard something bad about somebody, you know, I think like, well, I had never, I mean, if I heard something bad about somebody in the TI community doing something so wrong, um, I never, really tried to, go and confront that person or lecture that person or try to tell that person off or yell at that person or bully that person or anything, you know. I'm like, well, let me find out for myself, you know. So people hate Tony Braxton's sister. What's her name? Is it pronounced Tamar Braxton? But I'm like, I don't want to hate her because everybody else hate her. I'm like, I want to form my own opinion about Tamar Braxton. You know, I don't want to run with the crowd and hate her. Cause I haven't really heard anything good about her. People they talk bad about her, you know. But people got more respect for Tony Braxton, you know. But I was sad to hear that Tracy Braxton was a blood sacrifice. So, But even though I just use that for an example, but I know all these Hollywood stars, they're all satanic or whatever, Um, a lot of them were forced to be, and they didn't want to. You know, some of these child stars never wanted the fame or the money, but their parents forced them. And narcissistic enough to tell the child, you don't have a choice. Or they'll groom and brainwash the child that the child's choices aren't his or hers. And then they'll grow up believing that this is what I always wanted. But no, somebody beat you into submission to force you to feel like this is what I always wanted. You know. They didn't even your own parents, a narcissistic Illuminati parents didn't give you the freedom or right or independent thought to feel like, okay, I don't want to be a rapper. Okay, I don't want to be sitcom actress. I want to be a Broadway star. I don't want to be a Hollywood star. Stuff like that. So so now I can't even tell if I got something in my hair or is that a gray hair. No, that's the gray hair. Excuse me. So, like the foster mom thought she had the authority. And that wasn't even the birth mom. The abusive fake foster mom who didn't care about me. I never wanted to go to Nichols State University. Ever wanted to. But she made that fake decision before I turned 18 and forced me to go to Nichols. But eventually, I went to the college that I wanted to, UNO. But I really wanted to go to LSU. That's why LSU and Baton Rouge was where I really wanted to go. But I haven't thought of any well, I guess because of hearing that you pay more for out of state tuition. So that's why I never really bother with the idea of you know, going to out of state colleges. I didn't even but I thought about briefly, with the translation and stuff, you know, that I could have gone to Kent State University in Kent, Ohio for translation or whatever. But I never dreamed to go to University of Milwaukee at Wisconsin. I went there for like almost a whole semester after Hurricane Katrina. But I mean, I guess it wasn't too bad going to UWM for one semester after Hurricane Katrina. But if I would have stayed in, but because of the out of state tuition and stuff that I couldn't afford, that was the reason why. And I also had what was supposed to have been one more semester left. I originally was supposed to have graduated from UNO. Originally, spring 2005 was when I was supposed to have graduated from UNO. But then, family abuse and gang stalking with both biological and foster family, that held me back and set me back. My original plan, I wanted to go to LSU and be in the Air Force. But I'm glad y'all did me a favor. I'm glad I didn't go in the Air Force. But I wanted to be in the Air Force and go to LSU and graduate with a you know, a medical degree with my dream career. I wanted to be an obstetrician gynecologist, an OBGYN was what I wanted to be. But then they had so many abusive narcissistic gang stalkers that doubted me and sabotaged me. And then there was one point when I started off at Nichols majoring in biology pre-med. Nichols State University. And that first semester didn't work out because the foster moms abuse and gang stalking even in the dorms and everywhere. You know. And in spring 2003, I had some incidents where I was forced to withdraw from Nichols, and then everybody looked down upon me and condemned me, you know, when I was about to fail because of the being forced to take trazodone medication and certain other psych meds that caused me to be sleeping 15 hours a day. And then I would end up being super late to classes and stuff like that. You know, the foster mom still controlled my mental health and fake psychiatry even when I was going to college. And the fake social workers and everybody, they set it up that way. Like they set up the beginning of my adulthood life before I could graduate from high school. They had everything in plan. And the foster mom took my money. Nobody's called. The Social Security Administration said she committed fraud. You know. But the online stalkers want me undeservingly punished with no income, no money at all, even for me to work for it for myself. You know, excuse me. So I had a gap in between spring 2003 and then, you know, I tried to look for employment and I think I did a couple of temp service jobs and they workplace mobbed me. Or it turned out to be scam like jobs or whatever. And it was false hope for me to not be able to find a job anywhere. And even then, I was 19 years old. They blamed it on lack of experience. And it's like, well, how am I supposed to be expected to gain experience? I had no idea that I was blacklisted and targeted. Now, I mean, if I would have known that I was blacklisted, I would have never gone to college. And never took out student loans, never been in debt. And I wish I would have known the truth about, you know, and guess what? Yeah, people get frustrated and say that, you know, why are we forced to learn this useless information in school? And then they justify it by saying so we can have a well-rounded education, when we actually been brainwashed and indoctrinated and lied to in school with revisionist history, you know. So then yeah, summer 2003 I started at UNO all the way till, well, summer 2005. Spring slash summer 2005 I was in Costa Rica with the study abroad. And then Hurricane Katrina happened. And then fall semester 2005, I was going to UWM in Milwaukee. I didn't want to go there, you know. And then afterwards, and that gang stalked me really bad in Milwaukee too. I didn't even realize it coming, but come to think of it, yeah. And being around your family, I guess the gang stalking is even worse. Excuse me. Being perped right in that damn house. And then spring 2006, spring and summer 2006, I was back at UNO. And then I graduated in summer 2006. So I thought it was August 6th for some reason. But it was August 10th. I got my bachelor's, August 10th, 2006. I got my bachelor's degree from UNO. On August 10th, you know, of that year. But even going to college, it was hard to find a job. And I had only a little bit of experience with work study. But the work study jobs, if it weren't for workplace mobbing, even with 2 other co-workers, then, you know, I think I would have liked the job better, you know. Like, when I was on Milwaukee's campus, you know, I had a work study job with this department called Center for Urban Initiatives and Research. And it was more like administrative assistant or clerical job. And even at UNO, my last semester, I don't think it was for the spring 2006, but was it? Nah, I think it was just that summer 2006 in the foreign languages department. And I really loved that job. But it was only a couple of months though. You know. But, and I think that, yeah, it was kind of like the same thing, more like administrative assistant. But I wanted to continue like administrative assistant jobs, but it's been so many years that in 2017 or 18, they wouldn't give me administrative people, like employers would not allow me administrative assistant jobs because they wanted me with at least 5 years or 10 years of recent experience. You know, so I guess so many years had passed, you know, that it would have been hard, like, for me to have done administrative assistant that long ago. But it's not too hard as long as I'm not being workplace mob. It's not, or like have a micromanaging boss. It's not that bad of a job. But I would prefer that over janitorial and dishwashing. You know, excuse me, and I can't even get those kinds of jobs anymore. I've had multiple jobs recently here in New Orleans and back in Pensacola, you know, within the past few months, you know, Indeed job rejections. You know, like what y'all said, experience. I'm experienced in janitorial, but I don't want it anyway, you know. But as I said, excuse me, I can't do janitorial and dishwashing jobs anymore because of with the my organs being squeezed with the directed energy weapons and stuff. You know, they were squeezing my organs with the weapons. So, and I never know when they're going to do it. You know, so thankfully it hasn't happened in a while. Really, So that's how I knew it was the weapons. Especially like almost every day in Bloomington. I even try to be spontaneous in that at the last minute, and they was like they try to manipulate for me to be too traumatized to take a bath or a shower. But lately, I've been able to like take showers like almost every day, in a hotel or whatever. But sometimes they do it to me in a hotel or a motel or whatever, or they used to do it to me at UWF campus. Not every day, but sometimes. But me trying to shower every day in Bloomington, Texas, um, they tortured me every day so badly that I ended up only being allowed to take a shower once a week. And even like imagine every time you try to take a shower, they squeeze your organs where you can't bend down. And then the perps falsely blame weight. But how come they didn't squeeze my organs this morning when I took a shower? I was able to take a normal shower like for the past few days. You know, I think one of the days within the past week or two, I think one time it was kind of mild with it, but other than that, I was able to take a shower just about every day and be fine. But the excruciating pain that I would feel from that, if me being fat was the reason, well, how come it's not the case with other fat or overweight people? Excuse me. And if that was the case, then I think that less people would be overweight or obese. I mean, if you can ask any other overweight person when you bend down, do your organs hurt, or do they feel like they're squeezing? Um, so that's how I know it was the weapons. And I've been overweight or obese pretty much all my adulthood, almost pretty much, you know, pretty much all my adulthood. And then yeah, I've been obese throughout my adulthood, originally because of psych medications and these mercury amalgam fillings in my mouth. And I'm not on psych meds anymore. But, my homeless situation is, you know, making things more difficult. You know, but as I said, when I was in that apartment in Pensacola, I was working on some plans for improving myself, like eating. Once I would have I get established or whatever, I had planned to eat healthier, eat more nutritious, and try to get a work at home or work from home job. Try to get another laptop, and and excuse me, hopefully the chance to get an entrepreneurial um business kind of opportunity, or try to make and sell things, you know. But and I had planned to try to grow my hair out. I planned to try to I was planning to still planning to try to focus more on Bible reading and prayer, and try to grow spiritually. But with all these constant distractions and the gang stalking and constant attacks, and then being forced homeless, a lot of opportunity you're not allowed to do. Um, excuse me. So I was told that when I became homeless, the Social Security Ticket to Work agency, that man said he couldn't help me. And as I said, when I was on the phone with him was when the Whitney perp started the noise harassment with the loud music while I was on the phone with him, trying to get the ball rolling. And as I said, I wasn't even thinking of becoming homeless. And so I'm very devastated that, the fact that I was forced to leave, and then forced to have to get rid of all my stuff and throw it away because I didn't have a way to get another storage unit. And the perps were trying to kill me and threatening me and charging at me and trying to, and so I had to get out of there fast. And so now, me having one bag and trying to keep my belongings to a minimum, I feel like since I lost so much valuable and important stuff, now I feel like, I mean, y'all got y'all wish. Y'all didn't want me with a storage unit. How was I gonna carry? What was I gonna? Where was I gonna put? Or what was I gonna do with my stuff? And I felt bad that I had no choice but to throw everything away. And now it's like, I feel like, even though we're not supposed to care about the things of this world, but I've been shocked and devastated of losing certain important things that I've had possession of pretty much all my life, or most of my life. And it's like have been trying to process and grieve the loss of my belongings. That I would even, pictures or whatever that I would, or certain items, certain things that I've had for decades that I will never see again, or never get to use again. And it's like I'm so hurt now, about the forced loss of everything. Excuse me, that I don't even have the desire to have a storage unit anymore. And then the way that they were abusive towards me that last month with the storage unit, I don't want to do business with them anymore. And so I feel like, and it's so hard to try to get a storage unit because by me having no family, the storage unit won't let you have a storage unit unless you have to have family to have authority, or they try to make it like you have to have family members, and it's like I don't have anyone. It's very, very hard to try to get a storage unit. But it's like I don't even care to have anything anymore. You know, and so now it's very difficult, for me to adjust to being so super minimalist. You know, now I really don't have enough. I don't have enough stuff to put in a storage unit. You know, but I mean, what would it look like for me to just put a couple of pieces of paper in the storage unit and then pay like $130 a month? Then that would be a real waste of money. So, yeah, I kept forgetting in every video. I kept on forgetting to mention, about grieving the loss of my belongings. You know, but who do you think wants to live amongst, you know, neighbors being so close to you on the same building as you and blaring like you being assaulted by loud bass, loud music, and no peace and quiet for like 18 hours a day and getting no peace and quiet from sun up to sundown. I mean, from sun up to midnight. No peace and quiet. Or noise campaign from random people when you're trying to pray or listen to the Bible or read the Bible. Like last night, or was it the night before? I was either praying or listening to the Bible, and they had fake loud trolls and loud cars seemed like they were speed racing. With the fake loud cars or whatever. You know, but I'm fighting to not give up. But it's like they want to try to force me, excuse me, to feel like as if I have no choice but to give up. Like as if they want to try to leave me cornered to where I have no other choice but to give up. But I still keep fighting. And that's what they'll do. They'll believe the slander about you and act like they hate you so strongly and so militantly. And then after you die, they will pretend to fake care and then talk about how much of a fighter you are, how much of a fighter you were with persevering. And they'll say that, like, oh, Candy, you were a good person. You were such a fighter in this TI community. You did not die in vain. And with these fake speeches and fake eulogies and everything. Like Master P said, give them their flowers while they're here. Don't wait till after they die. But you think somebody's a bad person for such a long time, and even after they die, you might still think they're a bad person. And then after some decades, maybe, it might take for you to realize that that person you were brainwashed and manipulated to hate and think was such a bad person wasn't so horrible after all. Or wasn't the demon that people try to make that person out to be. And it's like, I talk all the time about how the foster mom brainwashed me and my twin sister to despise the biological mom. And then after I found out the truth, I felt extremely terrible. Very terrible. After it was too late. And what's funny is not when I say funny, I mean odd, strange, peculiar, not laugh kind of funny. So excuse me. So the biological sister Ramona, when I was talking after I was in Los Angeles after the biological mom Frances died, and we were talking, and I bust out crying, and Ramona yelled at me and forcefully ordered me to shut up. Like as if I didn't have a right to grieve or cry over my own mother. The one who really gave birth to me. But then Ramona would ask me, Candy, don't you know Yvonne didn't shed a tear for Ma when she died? That's what they call the biological mom, Frances. They call her Ma. The ones who she raised, they call her Ma. Don't you know that Yvonne didn't shed a tear for Ma when she passed? That's what she said. And I'm like, well, that's odd because you wouldn't allow me to shed any tears. You try to bully me to shut up when I cried. Like as if I'm not allowed, I have no right to grieve. And Ramona and Mark tried to force me to shut up and didn't want me to cry about Blake either. My Rebecca and Yvonne and them could cry all day. And they said that Monica had was wailing. Nobody forced Monica to stop crying or try to restrict her from crying. Man, that's like, oh man, I'm just like deeply hurt. It's like getting really painful just to think about it. I'm sorry, y'all. I mean, it's like even the foster mom would not even allow me to she wouldn't even allow me to grieve the biological sister Belinda. She wouldn't even let me go to Belinda's funeral. And I like not even getting to grieve the biological mom. I'm sorry, y'all. And today, the 18th is Monica's daughter Malia's birthday. I don't even know how old she turned. Um, my great niece. But Malia's, Monica's, she's, I mean, I was just thinking, yeah, it's a family member whose birthday today, you know. But, I'm sorry, y'all. Dang. And it's like every time I go by, like take the streetcar or whatever near City Park, it's like, well, Belinda's buried in Milwaukee, and Belinda's son John, my biological nephew John, the biggest scam asshole in the family besides Ramona. Those are the ones y'all should be calling scam and fraud. Um, John, excuse me, will make false promises to take me to see Belinda, my own sister. He would not even let me. He would make false promises to show me Belinda's resting place, and he never showed me. But I'm not family. But Ramona and Mark and them expected for me to get um decorations for the biological mom Frances resting place. But y'all tell me I'm not family. But y'all made it my responsibility when y'all have way more money than I would get. You know. So I kind of don't remember exactly how to get to the cemetery or exactly where it is, but the biological dad, Arthur, they put him. I didn't know that the biological mom, Frances, was the third wife. I didn't know that until after Arthur passed away. The biological sister Ramona said that Arthur's first wife was an albino woman that he was married to for like a year or two, and they didn't have any kids together. And he supposedly wasn't really attracted to her. And I saw one picture of her. And then my biological half sister Yolanda and Samuetta. I met Yolanda a few times, but I never met Samuetta. And I never saw a picture of what their mom Joyce Grand Prix, what she looked like. But Ramona tried to say that Joyce Grand Prix, that she died of a mental illness. And I'm like, how could that be possible? Well, I don't even know if she was trying to skirt around and say that. I mean, if she was trying to avoid saying that the woman committed suicide, I don't know. Excuse me. But I don't even know. But Arthur's buried by Joyce Grand Prix, not the biological mom Frances. And the biological mom Frances doesn't even have like a tomb or whatever. It's just dirt right there, you know. And it's like people treated her like an outcast and was abusive and mean towards her too. And I feel bad because I wish that I would have known better, or I wish I would not have treated her like that. Been brainwashed to act like that towards her. But she had her abusive moments towards me too, you know. But you know, the time that, even though the woman she never really did much of anything for me. But one time she bought me what was a shirt that she bought me in 2003 or 4, I don't remember. And then I hold it dear to my heart. You know, when we were on good terms, and the only one time that she treated me to Golden Corral. And I'm not going to forget that. She treated me to Golden Corral. So after a while, you know, every time I go to Golden Corral, you know, I hold that in my heart. Excuse me. And so then, Blake and his dad, Daryl, I don't remember if they were buried very close, but I don't remember if they were buried right next to each other. But yeah, I mean, I don't have the funds to put like a tomb or whatever, you know, for the biological mom Frances. You know, but the biological family, they sold their soul to the devil, and they're rich, living a high life. I guess they're not even thinking about putting something there, you know. Yeah, last I remember, I thought it looked like it was just a dirt right there, you know. Excuse me. Sorry. So, yeah, I mean, before Blake, I thought that I was going to be next in the family to go. I really did. I thought it was going to be me next. In fact, I thought that I was going to be gone before the biological parents passed away. And I almost died on the day that Arthur died. Excuse me. And I didn't know that the biological dad, Arthur's stepdad, died on me and my twin sister's 19th birthday. I didn't know about, what's his name, Paul Smith? Was it Smith or, yeah. So I heard that the biological dad, Arthur's dad, his name was Anthony Grand Prix. And then his son's name was Anthony Jr., and then there was Arthur and Aunt Marie. The only one of Arthur's siblings I ever met was Aunt Carolyn, who they call Aunt Carrie, and her daughter Tiffany. I only saw like one picture of her. I never even met Tiffany, you know. And Mark, what he was trying to, when we were in Denton, Texas, he was talking about my cousin Tiffany or whatever. And I'm like, we have a cousin named Tiffany? And then he got an attitude and said, my cousin Tiffany. And I'm like, well, if Arthur's not our dad, then, you know, maybe our step cousin Tiffany? And then he got real mad and like almost started to lash out on me. But that's what they do. They try to perp and troll me by trying to lie and say Arthur's not your daddy because you're not light skinned like him. And then Ramona will always flaunt off Arthur's side of the family in my face. After she smear campaigned me, to the Arthur's some kind of way related. I guess we have a cousin named Antonia Wilfred. Yeah, Antonia's dad had died in a car accident in January 2005. And Ramona tricked me into going to that man's funeral. And it's like, why you break your neck to drag me to a stranger's funeral? Excuse me. And then I didn't know that they were considered family. And that Antonia Wilfred lady, who they don't call her Tony, but they call her Tony. And Antonia Wilfred and her sister treated me very mean. Because Ramona smear campaign slandered me to them. That's the reason why they treated me so mean. Had an attitude with me and acted like they couldn't freaking stand me. But y'all mad at me for publicizing y'all abuse towards me on social media. At least I'm telling the fucking truth. Excuse me. But other than Yvonne and her kids, I never met, off of biological mom Frances' side, I never met Aunt Betty, Aunt Lisa, and Uncle Carl, or any of their kids, or any of their relatives or whatever. Never saw that side of the family. But, you know, only a couple of pictures, that's it. Excuse me. And then, so that Antonia's dad's name was Arthur Wilfred. Excuse me, I'm sorry for sniffling and snorting. And then yeah, so Uncle Anthony Grand Prix or any children he might have had, I don't even think I ever saw a picture of him or pictures. And when I got into an argument with Ramona in 2015, and we argued, and she was trying to call me fat and greedy while stuffing her face with 4 huge pieces of cake. And then she said, "You worship my daddy? God, you worship my daddy? You worship the light-skinned people with the special kind of hair?" And I'm like, y'all use a projection. You know, I had gotten over that, the colorism and skin color issue decades ago. I don't know about decades, but years ago. I mean, if you're one of those light-skinned pretty Creoles and you fucking gang stalking me or you're a narcissistic abuser, nothing's gonna stop me from putting your ass on film too. If you got light skin with green eyes, or the complexion of white people with green eyes and straight hair or loosely curled hair, and you gang stalking me, I'm not gonna make exceptions for you. I'm gonna put you out there too. But, you know, but I had to deal with growing up with people always, if I got into an altercation with a light skinned person, they automatically take that light skinned person's side because of favoritism. So back then, I used to wonder that if I was light skinned or had those traits, would I be treated any different? But maybe not, because I've seen light skinned black people in the TI community. It doesn't matter about your skin color or race. You know. But in New Orleans, I heard that colorism and featureism and texturism used to be rampant. But now darker complected and more authentic black people are getting their shine now. Even in Hollywood now, it seems like. But even in the Hollywood industry, they got the colorism, and texturism and featureism and stuff like that. It's like now, you know, I don't even care about light skin or certain races or whatever, you know. And I had to learn that every that there's no race better than another, or no person better than the other. And then a couple of years later, I've noticed that the Bible confirmed that, that. So even if you're one of the light-skinned pretty Creoles, you're a sinner in need of a savior as well. You're not better because you're light-skinned. But people may let you get off from crimes and evil and let you be narcissistic because of your doggone skin color and your features, or because you're mixed. And you're not better because you're light skinned or because you're mixed. And the family still runs off of colorism. Like Yvonne, I heard, is very colorist. And that's also part of the reason why she treated me the way she did. Also, I heard she chooses favoritism towards Daryl's side of the family because they're all Creoles but look like white people. Like my niece Monica, I showed you, she looks like, well, she doesn't look white, but she's the complexion of white people because we are all Creole. The biological dad, Arthur, and drunk lady Yvonne's husband, Daryl, they're both the quote-unquote light-skinned pretty Creoles with straight hair. But neither one of them really had green eyes or anything like that, But Arthur was mean and would cuss you out in the New York second. Cuss you out. He was quiet and didn't say much, but he was grumpy. And, like Ramona tried to make a joke saying that she would tell people that the biological dad Arthur farted, and she would say that how she said he farted, that she whispered he farted, and so I think it was Sean that told me that story. And so Sean said that Arthur said, "Yeah, I farted, motherfucker. What you want to do? What you want me to do? Hold the motherfucker back? Yeah, I farted, motherfucker. What you want me to do? Hold the motherfucker back?" Excuse me. So in New Orleans back then, they used to, I don't know, that they used to say when you say fart, They pronounce it fa. Instead of fart, they say fa. You farted, not farted, but you farted. Like that. That's how they talk in here. Here in New Orleans. That's how they talk. But yeah. Um, I think in 2001, the end of 2001 / beginning of 2002, when we first reunited with the family, they told the truth, saying that Arthur was our dad. And then afterwards, in 2005, before Hurricane Katrina, was when Ramona and Mark and the biological mom Francis and all them started playing all kinds of games and stuff. But we were in junior, and I was in 8th grade when Wyatt told me, Arthur's not your dad because you're not light skinned like him. And so I got mad and hung up in Wyatt's face and tore up his graduation picture and didn't want to talk to him because he told me something like that. And then when I got mad and I was a kid, I said, I feel genetically destroyed. And so he's like, well, that's like childish. Well, of course I'm going to be childish. I'm a doggone kid. So I got mad and hung up in his face and tore up his graduation picture and didn't want to talk to him no more. And then some years later, Wyatt said that he remembers shortly after he was 3 years old that Arthur and the biological mom Francis were doing it in the bed with him in the bed. So then we would hear stories about something. My twin sister would tell me something about that. That the biological mom Francis would go to Milwaukee and then come back to New Orleans pregnant. But it's it could have been a possibility that that the biological mom Francis probably could have been pregnant without knowing or realizing being pregnant for Arthur, and then go back out. And they have this fake idea that because all of Yvonne's kids turn out light skinned with Daryl, then that was supposed to be the expectation. Like Yolanda was not light skinned. And I've seen other families where they might have a brown skinned mother and a light skinned Creole dad. And then the child has like everything from the mom. So not just because we're brown skinned like the biological mom Francis does not mean that we don't belong to Arthur. So if Ramona said Larry is dark skinned and Ramona's light, how the hell did Monica turn out so white? Well, but y'all not saying that Monica doesn't belong to Larry because she doesn't take after his skin color. So some people say that we look more like the biological dad Arthur as babies when we were babies. They say we look just like him. But as we got older, they say that I'm twinning with the biological mom Francis. So, and then the family start perping and trolling by lying and saying that that me and Brandy's biological dad is like a nappy head, brown skinned, big bubble eyed man in Milwaukee that had AIDS or something like that. Now, do Do I have any traits of any big bubble eyes? No. I've been told for a long time that me and my twin sister, people say that our eyes look like we're mixed with Asian. People be thinking that we're mixed with Asian. Where we get those traits from? Arthur. So people have been like, there have been a few times when people try to ask me what I'm mixed with, or ask me if I'm mixed with Asian. You know, we might have Asian in our ancestry. Who knows? You know, but I think that, all that Native American that we got mixed in us. And I spent all my childhood never content with myself. And then it took for me to get some years older to be content with my race and skin color and features and everything. You know. But growing up being a child and being called picky headed, nappy headed, or pickaninny and stuff like that, made you feel insecure about yourself. You know. Excuse me. But yeah. And then Ramona waited till after both of our parents died to say that Arthur used to physically abuse and beat on the biological mom, Frances, and that they used to fight. That he used to get drunk and that they used to fight all the time. And Arthur, he lived 82 long years, and I heard something about that. He was caught cheating and got shot in the bathtub. I guess he was cheating on. I don't know who he was cheating on, but some other woman and another woman. Well, that was neither the biological mom, Frances, or the previous woman. It was a couple of other women. Now Arthur was caught in the bathroom with another woman and got shot in the bathtub, shot in the arm or something, and almost died. Excuse me. And then I heard that Arthur used to ride motorcycles, and then he used to I heard that he had you know he used to ride motorcycles, and I heard that he used to I heard that he was an alcoholic, and that he was, I guess, riding a motorcycle while drunk and almost died. And I don't know if I heard that happened to him twice. And I heard that he quit riding a motorcycle and quit drinking. And then I heard that he used to ride a bike. Because when we first came around the family, like when I did after turning 18, he used to ride a regular bike. He used to ride a bike, But then after a while, he quit riding a bike. He stopped riding a bike, And he would just sit home and maybe watch TV and be quiet and don't say nothing. But, it really hurts to realize that if the foster mom kept throwing it in my face about the biological parents not liking me or not caring about me or whatever. And I don't think the biological dad, Arthur, cared about us. He didn't really care about me. He didn't treat me like a father. He didn't act like as if he loved me like a father. But, I mean, he was bitter and eternally bitter and angry and just very freaking mean. And I don't care. I mean, I'm being honest. But excuse me being so young and not knowing any better, that I felt bad to kiss certain people's ass for such and such reason, or put them on a pedestal for whatever reason. And like, I felt bad to, even with the Stockholm syndrome, putting a fake foster mom on a pedestal, on a high pedestal, or with that Stockholm syndrome. But I won't defend or go to bat for her no more. Won't kiss her ass no more. You know. But I mean, I don't even know if Arthur was a narcissistic abuser. But they had certain people try to say, Arthur, oh yeah, your biological dad, Arthur, was in the military. Oh, he was the one who sold y'all to the gang stalking program. Well, sold you to the program. And I'm like, well, how could I verify that we were taken away for so long? But I mean, I don't know why Arthur didn't go to bat for a fight tooth and nail for us, or fight for his babies. It didn't seem like he fought to try to whatever it takes. And it's like, I heard that I heard that when I wasn't around, that Arthur used to talk bad about me and stuff, or cuss about me behind my back. But as an adult, only twice he gave me $20 when I first started coming around after my twin sister. And I felt like, well, what a relief, because I mean, I went so much, like 18, 19 and 20 years old, to be super, like, painfully broke with nothing. And it was before I started getting the SSI and Social Security checks. Excuse me. And I experienced, being 19 years old or 18 years old, being homeless on the streets or whatever for a night or two, or in the shelters, maybe for a night or two. But to be chronically homeless like this is a freaking nightmare. Even then, it was pretty traumatizing for a night or two. And the foster mom, Adrian Felder, always manipulated for us to go running back to her. Or feeling like we have to depend on her, or depending on her is the only thing we know. Excuse me. But eventually, I'm glad I eventually was able to get on my own and have my own place finally. So, it is now 10:14 p.m. And as usual, the fake Darnell Williams perp always fraudulently and illegally find out, like, they gang stalked the shit out of me here. Like, when I came here, there was a perp in a white Chevy Equinox, and there was a female a white lady with the Masonic red hair, like as if they were waiting for me. And then she got out once I approached the hotel. And then there was another man that it's like everybody tried to strategically wait for me to come, and then they all came in too. So I'm glad to have a room for the night, and I'm really scared. As I said, instead of being angry at me for asking for help, Y'all should be angry at the perps for sabotaging what I did have. And, if you're not perfect yourself, you shouldn't be lecturing and condemning me about my behavior when you're evil. You're dedicated to Satan on purpose, willfully, and knowingly. Like, you make a conscious decision that you're going to worship Satan today. Excuse me. So, yeah, this is really scary and a nightmare. You know, as I said, like the biological mom, Francis, and Arthur, and the biological dad, Arthur, um, they didn't really do much for us. You know, they didn't do much for us, or as far as taking care of us or whatever. Um, but I never like, other than being a baby, like after being an adult, I never knew what it was like to live with or be staying with the biological mom, Frances. Like the most I got was to maybe spend the weekend by her house, or spend a night by her house. But excuse me, it's strange because in Denton, Texas, she never spent the night or weekend by my house, or her and Arthur never visited my house. But I don't remember the biological mom, Frances, coming to my house. I wonder why she never came over there. But Mark and Wyatt came over there quite a few times. Sean even tried to stay with me over there, but things didn't work out. And I never knew Sean was steal, but Sean, I'm not saying that Sean stole, but other than myself, he was the only one there. But if my own brother is that dangerous, there that a knife was missing when he left. I don't remember how long he stayed. If he stayed a few days or a week or whatever. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. Wow, that caught me off guard. But the biological dad, Arthur, he never came to my house to visit me, in Denton, Texas. My apartment that I had. We were living there in Denton, Texas after a couple of years after Katrina, and I absolutely hated it. But I think Bloomington was worse and more depressing than Denton, you know. So I'm going to go for now. I need any and all the help that I can get. And I'm not going to stop fighting for my life and fighting for my survival if this is what I got to do. As I said, I have no pity to try to seek, and I have no games to play. I'm doggone serious. And this is all I know what to do. The fact that, as I said, I could be working and having a job and asking for nothing. And the vigilante perps will still harass me several times a day and threaten me, talking about me being a scammer and a fraud and everything. And it's like I'm working, being productive. I have a job, such and such, taking care of myself and not bothering y'all, and you're still coming and harassing me. Bullying, harassing, and threatening me. But y'all think y'all got such high fake authority over me when you have no power over me, no authority, no legal authority over me. Even if you're my family, you don't have any authority over me. So thanks for listening to me. I love y'all. I gotta go now. Bye.